Well, welcome tonight to Is Vito the SuperKiller, joined by a esteemed guest, LG. LG, say
What's up?
hi to at least Miss Sparkles at the moment. Hopefully, other people will roll in.
Hey, how you doing? How you doing? What's up, everybody?
Okay, so tonight I want to go over SuperKiller. So highly anticipated. Everyone wants to know when SuperKiller is coming out. So,
Which
to
is
say,
I gotta give you I gotta so that when is SuperKiller hashtag that started by me. I have to say that because I'm the one that put it out
oh,
there.
okay,
I was the one
very
that
nice. I
I
have
was the one that
the
started
king of the when SuperKiller coming out right
hashtag.
with me.
Anytime you decide to interact with Vito and you want to know when it's SuperKiller, just put in that hashtag when it's SuperKiller, and then you're good. That's it.
Yeah, awesome stuff. If he delays too long, I'll satiate that need. Maybe I'll even put it in the description later. But before we get into that fun stuff, found my esteemed guest, one of my friends, Miss Sparkles here, introduced me to a very interesting little back lore on a couple of people. So let's get started and get into the back lore. And hey, Jeremy, what is your favorite part of SuperKiller? I'm hoping it'll be like Gans, but I'm sort of worried that it's going to be a let me down. Tick.
We'll see. We'll see. My favorite part is when it comes out. That's my favorite part. Oh.
He talks a little bit slow, not too fast.
Okay. I can't. I don't know. Can y'all hear anything?
Yeah, I can hear you, man. Sorry.
No, I'm talking about the video. Were you playing the video?
Oh, you can't hear the video?
No.
Oh, sheesh.
But if it's I can
yeah,
I can like get the link if
Nah, let me remove this real quick. Maybe because I tried to do probably some retard stuff. I have my moments here and there, but yeah, Dick Masterson, I think I know what I'm doing wrong. So I'll need to shift this to a better window for that. But yeah, favorite part of SuperKiller is how it's going to be just like Gans, but probably not. And transferring this video.
I did not know that. Oh, that's weird. A half and half pizza with half pepperoni and half banana peppers. What the flip?
That is an interesting little blend there.
Will I get that? The answer is hell no.
Yeah, at least it's not anchovies. It could be worse.
Right. Because that doesn't it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Okay.
I would hate to open. Go ahead. My bad.
This should be better now. I think it was just being retarded because I was using a different browser.
Let me know.
I can hear it. Yeah, I can hear it now. That's good.
And I find your position on Lolicon because of my experience with dealing with Lolicons while moderating and administrating image boards. I know that they're pedophiles, and I know that if you are associated with
Digibro here,
you will inevitably eat shit for it. So that was my last conversation with him.
Yeah, Dick picked a Lolicon, or at least Digibro over the man, the legend, Null, Joshua Moon. Yeah, we know you're a fan. Isn't that just so sad? I mean, I'm not as hard on Lolicons as some people, but I still think they're weird freaks. So I wouldn't. And Digibro's even worse than that. Oh God,
I don't fucking know about.
Yeah, you don't want to know the back lore on that. You don't want to get into that mess.
Honestly, it's weird.
I've avoided even tagging him on Twitter for years since then. I felt like I got utter and complete final closure on the Dick Show shit with that conversation. I think that I made my point really well, and he did not. And
I
the
almost
other thing
want
with
to
Riley
look
was
for
that
this shit.
he was fucking like Riley was, I think he still is. He's fucking like a mentally handicapped girl. A girl
boy.
named Mint Salad called him to the Dick Show. She was a furry artist. She made really
Some back lore on Riley, better known as Young Clipper nowadays,
Right.
and good old Mint Salad.
Oh, this is fun.
Yeah,
Oh, this is
this
fun.
was a real juicy thing, and it almost scares
Let-
me how much.
Let it play because after it plays because I
It's
got
beautiful stuff.
something to say because I got go
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
amateurish out because she's heavily autistic. She made shitty art for furries, porn for furries. Her parents said, "We don't like you doing this. So you're either going to stop drawing furry porn or you're going to leave our house." Dick suggests to her that she's an adult, so therefore she should choose furry porn over her family. This girl leaves her family and ends up in the Dick Show circle and ends up in a relationship with.
Makes me wonder. Doesn't it make you wonder?
Nope, because I already called it. Because I had a feeling
I
that's
was
what it
wondering
was.
there was something weird, and this was just confirmation.
Mm-hmm. But go ahead, let it go.
Yeah.
Riley, who was the
I
producer
know.
for the Dick Show. After this fight with Dick, at some point Riley gets kicked off, and Digibro, Riley, and Mint become like a little group. And at some point, Riley starts pimping her out. So there are sex videos of this retarded woman that Dick basically furloughed from being in her parents' home into Riley's possession. And now he pimps her out. And there are these truly, genuinely sad videos of a mentally handicapped woman in grandma underwear with skid marks in them having sex.
Grandma underwear.
Because that was her fate as a result of calling into the Dick Show and asking for a good opinion about if she should choose furry porn or her own family.
Oh, that's
thankfully
funny.
by the time this happened.
Oh, that is just completely
juicy.
ridiculous.
That's
Jeez.
I knew something was up with them because the way they interacted, right? So remember when I told you, right? I was like, something seemed off. Like I had my things about them and how they acted, and I was like, that I know she was like autistic or whatever. And like I said, I joke about shit, but like like I said, I respect those that are. That's no question. But there's something just off about her and the fact that she's always up under him, no pun intended. And the way they were acting, you feel what I'm saying? Like it just didn't make sense. Like it was like there had to be something extra that she was doing, and I'm like don't get me wrong, her art could be better. Like in some cases it's okay, in some cases it's like, okay, what the fuck? But like a lot of their stuff is that. And then like I said, I think in the case of Riley, I think Riley was just taking advantage of that, and I think that just solidifies what I've been saying.
Well,
I'm saying?
Riley might be a little bit autistic or maybe a little Down syndrome-y. I mean, I don't know. The dude definitely has some issues. And it seems like Dick likes hanging around these people. Especially Vito, which is about to get into.
Oh boy, let's see.
Happened, I was already gone, so I had no association with Dick when this happened. And then Dick got involved in the cuties shit, where he kept defending cuties, even though it was being prosecuted in the state of Texas as being child.
Did Dick actually defend cuties? I know Vito did.
Well, I believe he may have. Like he hasn't seen it. That's the thing, and it's going to get into the point that he's going to talk about in a minute. Like you don't hear much from him, from Dick on certain things like that. There's certain things that Dick will do, and the reason why he has Vito on his show.
Yeah. Well, I put it out like Vito, just in my satirical little thing on Dick Masterson. I called Vito Dick's truffle pig. I was saying that sort of as a joke, but this is the man, the legend, Null Josh Moon of KiwiFarms fame and infamy, obviously has a similar perspective, and he seems to be closer to the situation.
Right, and that
pornography,
that can definitely make some things go off. You know what I'm saying?
There are these logs that leaked where he
some boxes
was basically he's in a long-term relationship with 80s girl, and this relates to Maddox. Maddox was in a relationship with a girl called 80s girl. That's just her name. They're all about the same age. She's in her 40s now, I think, and Dick stole his girl, and that was a huge win. He's like, yes, I stole your bitch. I'm fucking your bitch and shit. And so he keeps 80s girls as like a trophy of his total and utter humiliation of Maddox. And I believe because she is a school teacher, she wants kids, and Dick does not want kids because he's a man child, and he will never grow up and he'll never have a family. So I believe that he's strung her along, saying, if we have kids one day, it'll be like whatever, I'll change.
Okay, this is speculation. I gotta check
Yeah,
him.
that's
It might be
sure.
correct. It seems like something Dick would get a kick out of, but speculation. Want to clarify?
Change and stuff, but I think that he is like secretly vasectomized and has strung her along until she's infertile. To know that she's 40, she's not going to have a child, and he did that to her, and I think that's unforgivable. I think that he purposely deceived her into staying in a relationship with him so that he could have his Maddox trophy over him forever.
Let's not dwell too much.
But at some point, because he likes to present himself as being a big macho swinger who has lots and lots of pussy, he tried to arrange a threesome between 80s girl and this totally unhinged woman. I forget her name, but she ended up leaking emails between 80s girl and herself, where 80s girl was lamenting the fact that Dick was a man child, that they'll never have a family, that she wants kids, so on and so forth. And
such a sad fate.
If you don't know, Vito Gasaldi is someone who has on multiple occasions heavily implied that he is sexually attracted to children. He's a close friend. I think he's even been roommates with Max Carson, a man who is undoubtedly a pedophile, who is now writing articles about how it should be okay to watch child pornography. I'm 100% convinced.
I have to wonder if that's who Dane cited with that art. Probably not that sort of connection, but that is a little creepy. Okay, I mean, defending cuties is bad enough. I mean, maybe it doesn't say anything. Maybe Josh Moon's going a little bit far,
Yeah.
Vito and Dick both have that comedy.
But when you start saying that people should watch CP, then that's like no, that's a definite go. I mean, like I said,
it's just borderline CP. Okay, it's not quite there. Softcore CP, maybe. Okay,
I haven't even looked.
Sorry.
To be honest with you. Let's be honest with you.
For me, okay. I mean, I can tolerate a lot. That just, sorry.
Yeah, no.
The pedophile, based on his behavior, and who is close friends with Vito, who I'm also concerned or convinced is a pedophile. So I've always wondered why he keeps this fat pedophile on his show. Why he rebooted the biggest problem in the universe with a fat pedophile named Vito. And I made a tweet. In regards to something I'll talk about in a second. And I made a tweet and I said, I'll quote myself on this actually, so I'm not just show you what I said.
Come on. Should I pause it?
I said in reply to the video that I watched, I'm about to show you. I said, at the next one, you're going to get slaughtered like a pig, you fucking idiot. You bet your career on a greasy, fat pedophile and his retarded comic book. Stop harassing this black dude and finding their obsession. You're such a fucking idiot. Holy shit. He responds to this with the message, why are you guys so obsessed with Vito? So let me repeat this. Dick Masterson, you are going to get slaughtered like a pig. You fucking idiot. You bet.
Yeah. Dude. She's been on that bend for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not even a big Eric supporter. I just find it ridiculous. They say don't feed the trolls, but shit. I don't think he's feeding them that much. He's just talking about what he can. I think
he's really, a lot of people are the thing with Eric, and this is what people are thinking that he's feeding the trolls, right? Eric is actually literally taking the stuff that some of the people are saying and using it as a conversational piece. You know what I'm saying? These people are saying X, Y, and Z. He's not even naming, like in a lot of cases, like especially now, he's not name dropping people specifically. He's saying, "Hey, look, this is these are my beliefs when it comes to the comics. This is what I believe. Blah blah blah. Blah, blah, blah. This is the topic." You see what I'm saying? That's what he's doing. And now people are thinking, "Oh, well, he's feeding controls by making it." No, he's actually using it as content.
Okay,
I think. Personally, because he's not name dropping. Like, yeah, he might go back and forth with a few people. Okay, cool, but it's only if
he's always done that.
Exactly, and I think everybody does to some degree. So that's the problem right now, is that people are trying to use this as some kind of a gotcha or a catch-22 shit. So people are trying to talk shit about Eric, right? So if Eric answers, oh well, why are you answering me? Why are you taking time to punch?
Yeah, it's a catch-22. If he
Exactly.
doesn't
Why are you
answer,
answering?
why are
If
you
he-
not responding? That
Why are you
does
not
seem-
responding? You're this, that, and the third. Or, oh, well, you can't take criticism if you respond to me. Like, which is stupid because a lot of these critiques that people are saying, right, don't make sense. And they're from outsiders looking in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's where that goes. How you
Hey.
doing, Great Puppet?
Yeah, Gray
Great
in the
Puppet.
house.
In the
But
building.
yeah, it just seems a little bit weird to me. And I think there is a factor of the sort of orbiters or the underlings, people, which I don't want to name here, but plenty of people following in the footsteps of Dick Masterson and Vito to sort of poke the beehive. Funny enough, I almost set up a debate with the same white nationalists that I saw Eric July debate on that. So that was a sort of funny thing. It never really came through, but white supremacy is just so stupid to me. I'm not sure. Well, let me not dwell on that too much. Just fun fact.
Your career on a fat, greasy pedophile. So, other hand, I now have 5 on one hand and 1 on the other. In his comic book, 2 for Vito. Back to Deck. Stop harassing this black man in front of another obsession. You're such a fucking idiot. Holy shit. I mentioned Vito twice indirectly, and I mentioned Dick 7 times. He responds to this saying, "Why are you guys so obsessed with Vito?" And I literally I walked to the store to get an energy drink before my podcast, and on the walk there, it clicked in a bright shining star in my head. I realized what it is. He realized with his podcast, The Biggest Problem in the Universe, before, that Maddox sitting next to him made him look good. And because he's now Juju the cow, a washed up 40-year-old who can't arrange a threesome but pretends to, who pimps out mentally retarded women to his retarded producers, and who gets fucked in the ass as Juju the cow, he needs someone really, really gross to make him look good in comparison. So he found a pedophile to take all the heat for him. Because if you ever get there and you say anything to him about him and Vito, he will always immediately deflect to Vito Gasaldi and say, "Why are you beating up on poor Vito? He's only a pedophile." And I get it now. He is terrified of having any kind of flame poured on him directly. Actually, what's really, really funny is that he's been in response to this. Oh, he did actually respond to this finally. Yeah, I'm somehow the only furry in the world who doesn't talk about it all every day. Memorial of modern science. It's a total deflection. I'm not calling you a furry. I'm calling you a man who gets dressed up as a cow and gets fucked in the ass by women.
There's a difference.
But he was late to reply to this. He replied to everything else first.
I don't
get
know.
around to it. I guess after the podcast started.
I guess he's got beef with women.
I guess hoping I wouldn't see it. I just saw it. Very. I think that he's afraid of people focusing on him. So he puts this honeypot out next to him so that people will just talk about Vito because he's so much easier to make fun of because he's so viscerally disgusting, readily contemptible in every way, shape, and form. And I'm just sick of him because I went from like gradually just like, oh, what a fucking idiot, I can't believe he's doing this to himself, to why is he doing this? Like, I understand he wants to be contrarian, but the cutie shit's a line too far. To like, really, you're gonna have this fucking pedophile be on your stream and you're gonna defend him? Like, is that really where you're going? And now I think he's actively malicious, and I'll let he has this ongoing feud with Eric July. Eric July is a black man. He puts out a comic. He makes several $1 million off his comic because his comic is like a generic alt tech, like anti.
Yeah, we know all about this. Let me not just make this maybe we'll come back to it.
That's the part that he kind of like I said, a lot of this is speculation from him.
Yeah,
and that's some of it. Like, he does need to like kind of like, okay, bro, you gotta chill out. Like, okay,
well, he doesn't need to chill out. Well,
like,
he should have chilled out. He already is under attack. So
this is anti. This is anti. Like, it never was. And I mean, a lot of people on the outside looking in don't understand that. Like, it never was. People claimed it to be. That was the same thing. A lot of this stuff that people were with Eric July, like, it's not even that, bro. Like, people were claiming, or this is anti-woke. No, it never was. It was just, look, we're just trying to make a story. We're just here to get something that people want, that we feel people want, and people want it. That's exactly what it is. That stuff was, he bet on himself, and that's exactly what it is.
I think being exclusively anti-woke is almost playing into the woke hand. That's just my personal belief on it. You just gotta just ignore the woke people, okay, and do your own thing. That's how you win. You don't react to them. You don't let them dictate your actions. That's just stupid. Strategically, it's very freaking stupid to do that. You're just doing stuff in reaction. You keep doing stuff in reaction. You're not doing what you want on your own.
Right.
Yeah, make fun of those sort of people, but don't actually worry too much about them.
Yeah.
Okay. Getting into this. I didn't really make too many notes here. I probably should have done some more groundwork, but this we're going to get into the super killer page, but it was really sad at the very end of this campaign page. He has this. Okay.
Mm,
I tried to see some connection between these two. I can't find them publicly, but
mhm.
there's the photo with them. Some people keep things on the DL,
Right.
and the- and the last line: "This project's dedicated to the memory," and yeah, that's sort of endearing. Okay,
All
I
right.
can't
Right.
pronounce that last name. Died so young. Sheesh.
Oh, Mustajabi,
Uh,
Mr. Jabi. I mean, some of the
yeah,
art that's how it is. Yes, Mustajabi.
yeah.
Yeah, Mustajabi. Yeah, something like that. I
She
think.
definitely does have qualities of her.
I don't know. Some of the stuff just could be.
Okay, probably a weird friendship, but you know, the LA blue girl thing. Give him some cover for that. Just wanted to mention that before I go into this.
The blue
And
cover.
yeah, this is what got me interested.
Okay.
I already told you idiots. This is a ripoff of this series.
Okurano.
Which might as well go on beforehand. And Gans. Gans something I highly ultra violent one. It's right behind Berserk. Yeah, I don't know how much you're into manga, LG, but
I've
there's
heard of Gantz in passing. There was I gotta read it. I gotta look more into it. But yeah, I know what Gantz is. I just need to actually look
and
on it.
and this one's a real. I couldn't actually do it. It was a
Uh-huh.
little depressing to me.
Mm.
Boku ro no, because
Mm.
frankly, if I'm remembering correctly, it's really weird. You know, you have all these children. It's a
Mhm.
mecha thing. They're tasked to save this robot. They're picked to pilot this robot in the big bad robot in order after each one of these battles with
Mhm.
the sort of monster alien thing, the child disappears. So big bad robot eating children. Yeah, no, dark fantasy. I hope that's
Mhm.
not really some bad subtext here. Okay, let me not be too mean.
I mean, I'm kind
It,
of picking up a pattern. Like, why are you dealing with that with children? Like,
yeah, maybe this is more bait,
I'm
you
not.
know.
It could be. And like I said, a lot of this stuff that I don't put past people. Like when I'm hitting on Vito is literally on the premise of you're so focused on Eric July when you could be worried about your shit.
Well,
That's where that's my issue. That's where my hang up is with him. Like all the other stuff, like would I buy the book from him? No, I
of
wouldn't.
course, it's his promotion. So, question. Yeah, it's great promotion. Let me try
What
to do a
promotion?
little bit of this myself, man. Okay, you know
Right.
that. Yeah, I have a short story.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, freak. Oh, here it is. Here it is. I have a story that I did a few years ago that won some awards.
Mm-hmm.
Did some mock-up pages for it to try to convince some artists. Then didn't really get
Yeah.
any bites. Maybe if I really go after Vito and his super killer, do you think that's ethically good to do though? You know, as
I
a
wouldn't say ethics has nothing to do with it to me.
of
I would say ethics has nothing to do with it to me. It's more like along the lines of why would you like what Vito's doing, he's alienating his audiences. And Miss Sparkle said it does come off as a bit jealous because it's like you have with
but
Vito,
what if it's just
realistically
some
speaking,
genius marketing ploy? Okay,
if it
that's
was
what.
genius marketing, he'd have more than what he has. In my personal opinion, I could be wrong, but if it was genius marketing, if he was so smart about his marketing, this man before he started getting latching on to Eric July, he had his project before latching on to Eric July. Okay, if memory serves me correctly, he had I think I want to say 77K give or take.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
he had his whole
Before
project out. I
he had an
I
idea,
couldn't even.
but then he latches on to Eric, and now he can only get what 8. Like you would think with that logic, he would be posting, you know, posting more about his project. During that time, he really wasn't posting much about his project. I know this because I was sitting there looking at some of this.
Okay, so bad strategic strategy just to attack another comic book creator to sort of push your own thing, I shouldn't go through with that?
I don't think you should. I mean,
Oh, okay, okay.
it could work. I'm not saying it wouldn't work, but at least
Oh,
okay. So at least with Eric, this is what Eric did, right? When Eric was talking about Marvel, DC, and this stuff, well, one, he's big into Marvel and DC, so that's one thing out the way. Two, right? He was always promoting his stuff. He was every time before he started this video, he was like, "Hey, look, when he started pulling out his own comic book, people knew." Right. So, but when Vito goes against Eric, nobody really knew. Like that same level of energy that it wasn't there. And I'm speaking objectively here. Like he was just going after Eric. He was just going like you had to find out that he was doing it.
okay. Well, I did want to ask someone that question. Would it be ethical to, just attack and be like, yeah, you're doing all this shit. You're not helping me out, man. You're not helping out other creators who have this idea, who
Yeah.
need a helping hand. I definitely, if I wanted to make my short story into a comic book,
Mhm.
I definitely would need a lot of help. But hell, Vito already had most of his fun, and not as much as Eric July. Maybe it's jealousy. Okay,
And he did things different too. So Vito and Eric also did things different to start off with fundamentally too. So
yeah,
Eric put his own money. He already had he had put money into his stuff.
well,
Like
is what I
he,
hear.
you know what I'm saying? This is facts. And you can go and look at Eric's stuff and he'll tell you that's exactly what he did. So that's why now, like I said, he bet on himself on Item One. It was I don't even think he was expecting it to be this level of success that it got. And I think he put in, I think about a 300K, I think it was. One of the numbers. I know the goal for the first one was 100K, and that one
Well,
got 3 million.
well, let's see what he's got. Okay, I just
Okay.
want to know about the ethics of it. I didn't think it was ethical.
I don't think so either.
Effective. You don't think it's even effective to sort of market his comic book and just
It
distracting
can
him
be.
from working on it?
It can be. I'm saying it's very situational, and it can be if you have it, but it can be very volatile. It's one of those things that can objectively blow
Yeah,
up in your face if you don't do the shit right. You have
yeah.
to be very careful.
Probably best not to sort of work my own comic book. Why totally maybe he'll take it as I'm attacking his comic book, because it's not really about attacking. Just he's comparing these hyping it up as, and I can understand he's not doing a superhero. He's doing something like manga, and yeah. Let's just get into this now.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, SuperKiller. Let's look at the Indiegogo. See, he's got a good amount of money. It's not a million, but yeah, Eric, from what I know, is building a whole empire, a whole series,
Yeah.
hiring a lot of people. And yeah, it definitely seems like Vito's getting a couple people in on this project. He's helping people out, but is he really helping them out like this artist? Yeah, familiar with him? Comic books is not my cup of tea. So, oh, this actually looks much better than most of the stuff. I guess this is SuperKiller here.
I mean, the
Huh.
post could be a little bit better, to be honest with you,
Yeah,
because
very
the over the
blocky.
shoulder, the shoulder part. That's what's like the shoulder. Like I mean, not the shoulder, but the his
Oh, I
over the
can see what
arm,
you're
his
talking
chin,
about. That
his chin,
shoulders.
yeah, his
Well,
shoulders and his chin over the arm part.
it
It
could
doesn't
be
translate well.
dislocated. If this is after a battle, that might make sense. Maybe yeah. Just unless his shoulders dislocated, that is a little bit odd of artwork. But maybe, be fair, maybe it's dislocated.
Mm.
But yeah, decent stuff. Decent stuff. Little etchy here and there, but that's definitely something Vito goes into. But fair enough. Fair enough. When is SuperKiller? Okay. Like some of this stuff, it's okay. It's much better than I can do. Let's hope this is just rough stuff he's working with here.
Right, because
And really, the multiverse, I hope he's going to make fun of. I'm really hoping he's going to make fun of all this Marvel multiverse madness in this as a comedian. If he can't work in some sort of satire, mocking some of the multiverse with this, I'll be extremely disappointed. I do sort of like the name, Sam King. I wonder if that's like a play off of someone. And here's the part that actually looks fairly good. He looks a little bit too much like a pretty boy. I don't know. The ray gun. And I heard a little bit of Dick's sort of talk about Eric July needing his superhero's powers known. Like this, I'm guessing he has no superpowers as far as this, just a ray gun.
I mean, that's a part of the. I mean, one can argue that was a part of the story. Like, I mean, you could tell Isom has some powers. It's just not explicitly stated, and that's part. I guess part of the story to where you got to figure out. Okay, well, we're figuring out what is his actual powers, what's going on, because this is
the reveal.
a new thing. This is a whole new thing. But go ahead.
Yeah, the reveal. Okay, it's the author's
Miss Sparkle says the character don't give me hero look. I don't think this character is a hero. He's supposed to be more like an anti-hero.
Yeah, it's the whole Gans thing, but he's having this little weird thing. And I really, if he wants to compare it to Gans and the other weird anime or manga I couldn't really get into because, you know, it was okay, but, you know, there's the whole eating out child thing. I'm like, okay, it's derivative enough. I don't need to see this. A little robot sidekick who becomes, I wonder if he stole this from something. There's definitely a spinoff of Tenchi Muya that has a character like this. I mean, definitely not original.
What's the other game? Fucking I'm thinking Borderlands too.
Oh, Claptrap. Oh, let's hope he's doesn't make this Archie guys. Oh, Claptrap is just annoying. Yeah, I understand. Maybe he's going to do a composite character, but there is the belief good artists borrow, great artists steal. That's a little ethically dubious for my taste, but there. Yeah, you do want to build the back off of previous themes. The Joseph Campbell's Hero with the Thousand Face, Star Wars. A lot of people copy it. I like to do things differently, but it's always risky doing things differently. So you do have to admire Eric July for doing something a little bit less conventional that he gets shit on for not doing or certain author decisions.
Right.
Okay. Make SuperKiller reality. Okay, we got the reality of all this. Like first cover edition, beautiful stuff. Crowdfunding. Yep. It's got the artist, got the LA Blue Girl cover. Yeah. I don't think it's top notch, but it's fairly solid. And look at all this merch that he's pushing. I found this really weird, all the merch he's trying to push with this.
Right.
Wonder if this is like bonuses or...
It's probably bonuses. A lot of it's bonus shit. So I don't even know how... I don't even know how he's gonna. My thing is, I don't even know if he has that stuff ready to go or anything. So.
See, personally, I would just want to get my comic book out. Like,
well, the merch is a good idea too, because what the merch
it's a good idea. But if it slows down the production, I don't, let's see, is he expected to actually ship this all out in the first thing? You know, various things for different. You can get one of these. Of course, the NFS is $35, but then you have the triple pack. You get 3 different covers. Lunchbox, very typical. This is just gonna. If he wants to, I just don't know if he wants to get this out altogether or if he's gonna. I would just prioritize all this stuff and let this other stuff come second, because all this stuff is also gonna. Because what Eric July was saying, I'm pretty sure I've heard in the background him talk about, at a low scale, things are much more expensive when you buy in bulk, like Costco. It tends to be cheaper when you buy more. It tends to drive down the price. I'm not a great on economics. I'm sure there's a certain reason for that. But that's a general rule. And it's just weird. There's so much
trading cards,
so much different stuff here.
So
I mean,
my question for all of this, right, is how much of this is actually ready? That's the thing that we have to question, is how much of this is actually ready. You know what I'm saying? And it's Sparkles, it does seem a bit pricey, but like, so my thing is, the pricing is, man, it's doable. But my thing is, how much of this is actually ready to go? You know what I'm saying? Because even with Eric, right? So a lot of people that gave Eric shit, even on his first campaign, a lot of that shit was ready to go. A lot of that shit was prepped and ready. And that's why the stuff was delivered in a timely fashion. Like, a lot of this shit was ready to go.
How much additional stuff did Eric bolt on to his sort of Indiegogo?
The first, well, that's the thing. It's not Indiegogo. It's his own pre-order campaign thing that he made. So, if memory serves me correctly, I think you can actually look on his site. Matter of fact, let me look on his site, the Ripperverse site, real quick before I start guessing and shit.
Okay.
Give me one second.
Just drop the link in the private chat, and I'll place it. Look at all these names. Different, I guess, looking at this, I'm trying to figure out.
I doubt any of it. Yeah, that's the thing, Miss Sparkles. I don't think much of this, if any of it's ready. Because if that's the case, then he would be putting this out. Like, I said, my thing is, like, when it comes out, it's one thing to have a disagreement with Eric or not like his comic. That's fine. Like, I know people that, okay, well, I got the comic and I don't like it, right? Okay, that's your problem. You know what I'm saying? That's your choice. You know, oh, that's one of the people that supported Vito, the 25K, 25K.
Yeah. All this stuff is quite interesting. It's unlocks, I guess, at the Patreon thing. And here's supporting Mint Salad, Autistic Boobs. Yeah, her art is a little bit childish, but definitely not on par. Neither is this one, really. Like this one. Interesting choices with this campaign. And it just seems like a lot to sort of bolt on. Plushy toys also. I mean, that's fairly easy. I know YouTube merch, everyone's got a plushie. Rags did. Everyone in EFAP, stitching at him. Is there Eric July plushie out there, or is he not cool enough for it? Some bitch shit.
I don't think he's gotten that far. So if you look, I put it in the poster in the private chat. So I want to say it was, let me see, we can look at his campaign items. It has cover A, B, C, and then they had the signed versions. It had posters of both.
Okay, wow.
Isom and Ira. Okay, there was a couple of shirts, one of Isom, one for the Ripperverse. The Dokumen trading cards. That was campaign exclusive.
Are these okay? So
yeah,
a lot of this seems a lot easier than a lot of stuff Vito's trying to put out. Shirts, sweatshirt, that stuff is easy stuff to produce.
Yeah, right. Because remember, this at this point, he was putting the fillers out. He's putting fillers out at this point.
Okay, a lot of standard stuff, some posters, some nice stuff. Some discount. Oh, well, a lot of the stuff's discounted now.
Yeah, because some of it you can actually get now.
Okay.
Yeah, you can actually get that now. Some of that, and that also too, a lot of the stuff people are like not understanding, like the Isom books themselves, they're still available. Like, all those books are available even though the campaign's over.
Yeah.
There's campaign exclusive covers, right? There's campaign exclusive covers, cool, but the regular ones that are available for mass print are still getting printed out.
I don't know. Okay. Yeah. Oh well, he does have trading cards. Yeah. Okay.
I wasn't able to get those because like I said, but when ISOM 1 came out, I didn't have a spot at the time. So
Yeah, you talked about it. Everyone has their own situation.
yeah, life
I
situation.
mean,
That's all it was.
yeah, it seems a little bit more sensible. Let's go back. I mean, maybe it's just my perception that Vito's just a lot of a lot of stuff probably is really easy to do.
Yeah. I just think honestly, when it comes to Vito, and this, like I said, my main complaint with Vito was like, dude, just focus on pushing your book. You could have easily doubled where you were at if you were focused. Your focus was on your book. Yeah, you could disagree with Eric all you want, whatever the fuck, but the fact that you sat up here and latched on to Eric for whatever reason, and you literally, and
I
Eric
mean,
has literally put out
if it was
3.
to help him with marketing or have a little bit of fun, but
Sure, I
sheesh,
mean,
from what we were going over with the Null stuff,
yeah.
sounds like they have a weird parasocial relationship. And convincing Mint. I hope that's sort of hyperbolic. I hope Null, Josh Moon of KiwiFarms, is being,
Mhm.
hyperbolic with that, and that's not the actual truth, because that would be downright predatory in some way.
I mean, it wouldn't. I
If
mean, have you
a
seen
fan
Riley?
calls the show, oh yeah, ditch your parents. There's actually some sort of it's almost red pill philosophy. Not quite. There were some older red pillars would say, like, disassociate from your family if they don't respect your game or stuff like that. And family, you shouldn't ditch your family so easily. Sometimes it has to be done, but frankly, doing it over, especially as an autistic person, because you like to draw gay furry, not gay, sorry, just furry porn is.
I mean, to me, it's just a
Sorry, I
lack
can't
of
wrap my head
understanding.
around it.
Look,
I'm trying to be
it's
nice to them, but
it's
that's
it's really a lack of understanding. To me, I think it's just a lack of understanding on both
that's a
on
lack of
multiple
empathy. If a
on both
fan
ends, really.
calls you, tell them to ditch their family. I mean, they did take care. They did welcome her with welcome arms, but obviously there wasn't. There might have been ulterior motives. I can't tell you for
I mean,
sure.
well, if
And
you're talking about if she's linked up with Riley, how much more ulterior motives can you get?
yeah, it does seem that way in retrospect. But maybe that's just how the chips fell. I'm trying
I
to be
mean, true.
charitable.
I mean,
I
I'm
mean,
trying, but I'm like, to me, it's like common
yeah,
denominator. I've been around this earth for long enough to know how that works. I mean, it's one thing to kind of to try to figure it out or whatever the fuck. Like, it's to be nice, to be charitable, but like it's one thing, when things present themselves a certain way. It's kind of like if it looks like a duck, you know,
acts like a duck.
you
Probably
know the
is a
rest.
duck. I mean, yeah. Maybe it's just
So I
all
want you to
this.
scroll down on this, right? Scroll down because there's a
Okay.
spot. There's something that's also interesting about this, right? Keep going with the part where he gives the updates.
Okay. Updates. Tell me when to stop. I'm not
Keep
quite
going.
sure.
It's a little further down. If not, if should be a tab. That picture of Mid-Seller has hurt my brain forever. That's funny. I don't blame you.
Current status. Okay. Who does?
Keep going. Keep going? Is it the
Okay.
first? Keep going. Keep going. Oh,
It's,
okay. No, yeah, you gotta have to go up to the part where it
yeah.
says updates or
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah. You were looking for it. He did have the status there. It looks like everything's
Yeah,
100%.
updates. Right where it says after the FAQ part where it says
Okay.
updates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay. 25 days ago. Beautiful. Not quite
mhm,
ready for Christmas.
right.
Let's see. Happy holiday, boys and girls. Jolly old Santa Vito here to update your status on Indian comic, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm,
Fulfillment date Q2 2024. So second quarter 2024. Is that
mhm.
March, I would say?
March, April, May.
And two, the delay is going to make the book freaking awesome. I would like a explanation of that. How
Oh,
the
I mean,
delay.
he's gonna explain it. Go ahead.
Okay.
Read it. Keep reading.
Okay, I could write a major essay on exactly why I'm pushing the date back. But instead of that, the main takeaway should be this: quality takes priority over speed. Yes, some indie publishers have found a way to cut corners and rush their books to the market, but those books are typically filled with ugly art, amateurs writing, glaring spelling, and grammatical errors, embarrassing to make them more suited for a landfill than your bookshelf.
I wonder who he's
Ouch.
talking about. I wonder who he's trying to talk about.
Yeah, well, I guess
Hmm.
our team isn't here to turn out endless waves of crap. We're here to make art. Okay. I think he's overhyping this too much.
Mhm.
The way he's framing this, it's a knockoff of Gans in Bokuro or whatever that weird children eating robot series is.
Right.
And the art doesn't even look that. I mean, it's decent. It's much better than I can do,
Mhm.
but I don't think it's a choice. Okay, I wouldn't.
No, keep it going. Just keep reading.
Yeah, we're here to kick ass storytell. Didn't he? Sorry, the contradictions are hurting my head. He was saying it's like Gans in the other anime, and now
Yep.
he's saying kick ass superhero story. Elements of kick ass I can see in the sort of design. Your patient means everything to us, not to mention you will dutifully reward for the wait, as we are actually extending the length of the book. And so filler? I hate fillers in anime, okay? Hope it's not filler. I mean, I don't see how if he put so much planning or logic into it, how he could extend. Maybe it's going to be more comical, like bonus stuff.
Right.
It just
Right.
doesn't seem like if you have this book planned out for so long, just willy-nilly deciding to extend it at the end, unless, it's just some
Mhm.
fun little extras. You can get away with that. Hope- Is it going to contribute to the character work? Maybe. Sometimes there's side work done in these things. Okay, we want to pack as much story as we can into this first installment. Fair enough. You got to have the book, the sort of a hook. You want to make sure if you're going to continue it, you have that hook at the end that makes people want to come back. Do you think Isom 1 did a good job at the end of the first book to make you want to go to the second book?
I believe it did. Because like I
Okay.
said, I was trying to figure out what the flip was going on, but then like I said, when I got it, I got the ISO 1 and 2 packs, so I was able to read them back to back.
Yeah, I mean, it could. I think it's effective
Wow, he isn't like that.
writing wise because
Sparkles.
recently I got an audiobook. Basically,
Yeah.
a weird thing. The first chapter, it's like a battle royale thing, and they
Mhm.
packed like two of these little levels in this battle royale weird alien sci-fi thing. I was
Yeah.
like, okay, this is a little weird. He extended it out. It's a much longer book than the rest of the books.
Right.
And he ended on a note where I'm like, okay, I want to know, because basically they were human and cat.
Mhm.
He got to the end of like the second stage in this,
Mhm.
and where they end, he's going to actually, him and his cat are going to pick their class, and he might even turn into a different creature because it's like super science, pretty much magic, very lit RPG. So the point is, it made me want to pick up that book 3, and that is important to actually do.
Especially if you're
I mean,
making multiple books in a story.
yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
And there's also a certain rhythm and flow to having fan theories out there. I mean, there's both upsides and downsides to that. You don't want to leave too much hanging, but that wild fan theories like a Darth
Mhm.
Jar Jar from the sequel trilogy sort of comes. Although that was hilarious, I have to say.
Okay.
But yeah, took too much of a tangent. It's just
No, you
weird.
good. If we can
Uh,
scroll down a bit. So
truth.
here's it. After I want to say the third paragraph from the bottom where it says "Now I know," right? That
Okay.
one.
Now I know there are some very strange lunatics who like to claim that delaying a comic book is a massive insult to the customer. I think it's the exact opposite. It's a promise that you promise to you that we refuse to release a dog biscuit of a book, that we won't deliver goods until we know they're worth your time and money. You know, it'd be funny if this entire thing is a scam. He just keeps on extending and it's just one giant joke. I'm not saying it's that. It'd be funny though.
It wouldn't be. It wouldn't surprise me if it were.
I mean,
like I said, this is the second time that I've seen him extend the book. So
oh, second time.
well, no, first time for me because I heard it was, or I had heard it was pushback, and then this is the first time I seen it myself getting pushback,
Okay.
and I'm like, bro, this don't look right.
Well, generally the rule of three. If he pushes it back again, I would definitely get suspicious. I mean, there's definitely a lot of work goes into this. Maybe he just can't take the pressure of releasing it. Some people are like that. They think they're creating art. It's so perfect. They don't want to put it out in the world to be criticized. And if you
Right,
saw
but
the thing
at some point,
earlier,
it's got to be at some point that, and I like I said, it's even with me with music, right? Like there's times where I be like, damn, I don't want to put this out. I don't feel like it's of quality. Sometimes you just got to be like, all right, look, let me just go ahead and fix it. Let me just go ahead and just put it out, and and let the chips fall where they may. Because sometimes that shit, unless it's like a big error, like a legit blob of an error, like legit, sometimes you just gotta just put it out there, bro. Like cut the shit. Cut like like I said, and this is coming from someone that I got to go through that myself personally, because I understand the perfectionist thing. Like I understand you wanted everything to be perfect, you wanted to be right, but let's be fucking for real. Like we can't. And the crazy thing is like that paragraph right after that. This is where this is what I'm talking about, and where he tries to be funny with the shit.
what the point is, if you want a book rush to print featuring cheap overseas art house labor and written by a knuckle dragon imbecile, I have a few titles I can recommend. If you want a truly kick-ass story lovingly prepared by real artists, then prepare your butthole for SuperKiller. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to you all.
Now,
Vito, the ho 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 ho. That's how he should have ended it. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So that's the problem, right? So we'll stay right there.
Oh yeah.
Because this is my issue with this, right? So for you to sit up here and say cheap overseas art house labor, right? Which that's not even the case. All right. Not even true. Okay. That's one. Two, you're trying to be funny with the shit. You're trying to poke at somebody else. When you started before, Vito started this before Eric did. And Eric now has 3 campaigns under his belt.
Well, he's a true artiste. True art takes time, apparently. At least that's how Vito's framing it. I mean, it's a good narrative. I can buy it. It's something.
If you can buy it, and I mean, like what's that saying goes? A fool in this money or so soon parted. Like, I mean, I don't buy it, and y'all can buy it if you want to. I just don't. I've been looking at this for a minute myself, and there are certain things that personally, personally, if I may not like somebody's stuff, or I may view them as competition, or whatever the fuck, I'm going to at least put out good stuff. I'm gonna at least be out there. Like in the book, I think this book is only like what 50 something pages. You got to push back a book for 50 pages.
And frankly, I think a few flaws actually can, as long as they're not damning, can actually make it feel more real. When something's like too perfectly constructed, it feels artificial. You want to have a few flaws in there, but you tend to have to make up for that in other areas. That's perfectly a legitimate choice as an artist to put out some things with some flaws to sort of highlight some greater what's the term, sort of a comparison, because real artist knows about theoretically real artist knows about the sort of art of ups and downs.
Mhm.
But I have a really general, like in acting, generally you want to have a balanced cast, because if you have
Right.
a really good actress or actor and a
Right. You
just
gotta
an
balance it.
average
Hey,
or even above average
I
cast
right.
performing,
Mhm.
that really good actor or actress will make everyone else look like shit. It's all about
Right.
taking anything in proportion.
Right. Hey, I
And
do gotta get up out of here though, because my food is
yeah,
here. I
take
do. I
care, man.
appreciate you. I appreciate you
Yeah,
having me on. You keep up
yeah,
the
it's
good work,
always
man.
good.
Keep working. Keep working at it. We'll talk whenever we get a chance, bro.
Yeah, I know you're busy with your own thing. Take your time. Thanks for coming on.
Hey, not a
Maybe
problem.
Dragon Man will come on. I almost covered everything. I'm just trying to wonder where to go from here. Let's see if I missed anything in the good old because I did want to get into the meat with LG there. But let's see if there's a little bit more in what Null has to say. Because and I'm hearing my own voice playback with that. I don't want that. Sorry. He isn't like other girls. Good stuff. Good stuff. Now I just need a locate. Okay. Present. Sharing screen. Mad at the internet. See if Null has any more insight on this, or if I stopped at a really good place. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Hope it didn't jump ahead. We'll see how this goes. Let's see what else Null
Just like
has.
the most beige color of conservatism that exists in the United States right now. The most profitable form of, we're not going to be DC Marvel. We're going to make an old fashioned comic book with dudes and being manly men and so on and so forth. Something that Dick should honestly love because that's his brand. But Vito, the pedophile, is also an aspiring comic book artist, and they're jealous that this guy makes several $1 million. So Vito kickstarts his
Disavow.
own bullshit.
It's not
comic book
proven
and
he's
makes,
a pedophile.
I want to say less than $100,000. And for months, I haven't heard nothing about this show except that that Dick is obsessed with Eric July, just obsessed with him, just obsessed with every decision he makes. If he decides to get a 3PL or a warehouse or whatever the fuck he's doing, every decision he makes is put under a microscope for some reason. And it's not interesting. It's not interesting to hear about the black guy getting into a new business with $1 million and trying to figure out how to do everything the right way. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of stuff he probably is not expecting Eric July. I mean, despite his sort of bullshit and what people believe about Null, and his absolute speech, free speech absolutionist as he is, it's a little really hard to really get a gauge on Null. But I think under all his gruff and grime, he's got probably a little bit too conspiracy of a brain, but that's what makes him enjoyable to listen to. Like Mr. Medicare. Okay. Great entertainers, but you got to listen to them with a grain of salt and be a little bit suspicious about their wild sort of speculation.
maybe in passing, but that seems to be what his entire show is based on now. So Eric July comes out and he puts out this video, and I wasn't expecting this black guy to drop the receipts and file a convincing argument against Dick and Vito.
Maybe you've heard.
But what the gist of what's happened is that Eric July is now being sued by a church over trademark infringement, and I don't know the specifics of that, but I do believe, based on what he says, that Dick and Vito have instigated this trade.
Yeah, and he got the win on that. Well, at least the compromise. Hope it works out for both. The church ministry gets a little bit of marketing. Eric July gets a little bit out of the controversy. Let's hope it's a win-win and not some stupid backroom deals like some conspiracy-brained people are really getting into.
Trademark suit. They've been contacting both the church and a comic book for kids charity under a fake name, trying to convince them to either cut ties with this guy and his comic book or to file a trademark infringement lawsuit against.
Yeah, I am glad I'm continuing with this because if I'm remembering it right, there is some interesting stuff. If Null is right. Disclaimer there.
Some for use of a coincidental appearance or some shit. So I will just let him go on. It's a couple minutes, but let's see.
Metaception.
Follows only Dick and Vito and the Biggest Problem in the Universe podcast. And then he brings up this that they tweeted publicly about this charity that they were interfering with. And then he finds out that this. I'll just let him explain this.
Entire email chain in the original from Mark, who was the owner of Comic Books for Kids. Sharing this may have been a critical error because we were able to obtain the entire email chain. In the original email, you see that Vito tried to block out the name. The original contact is from the same email from a guy by the same name. Yet again, concern trolling, this time acting as if he is so concerned about Comic Books for Kids being scammed. Here's the original email. Without the name being blacked out, you see Mark refers to him as Roy. Again, what we have here is Vito himself using the term we, which would suggest he's included with this specific contact.
Which is exactly what he did when he said that he was including himself in pedophiles, by the way. He needs to really stop using the royal we when talking about pedophiles and people fucking with this guy's business.
Never mind if this could be interference, just how involved are they in this? Well, here they are on the show referring to contacting Comic Books for Kids.
So we contacted that charity. So this
He
is
just outright admitted it. This is like, okay, you have emails. I guess it's like an account that's kind of following him. And it could be like,
Yeah, this is sort of funny. Okay. And yeah, I'm going to let this play a little bit longer, but sort of reminds me of My Little Thing, but
like a fan doing things without their exact permission. No, Dick explicitly saying we contacted the fucking charity.
the final email that I got.
So we
Oh,
have
it
a
was
tweet where he
just
uses
speaking,
this
probably.
email,
Well,
seemingly
he did
pointing
say
to
it.
an example of we being in contact with the charity.
So yeah, why are people getting on Eric July's ass when it's obvious there is a clip about that? Even if Dick sort of backtracks and be like, oh, it's not really us, like he does.
And on video, it looks as if he does something similar. Remember, this is all a concern troll, and one can question if they care about this charity at all. They did down talk them as well.
Comic
Is
books
there
for
enough
kids.
backstory for Comic Books for Kids?
Okay.
Yeah. And at first I thought maybe I shouldn't talk about this because I don't want to fuck up that guy's deal. The
Right, the-
comic
the
book charity guys.
sure.
Yeah, but then I thought, fuck it.
Such a great reason. Fuck it. Beautiful stuff, you know. You just admit you're an asshole completely. So, you know, Dick is just being a dick, being the world's biggest problem. I guess in the end, trying to find out, I guess the ending cliffhangering, and they'll have to discuss the world's biggest problem in the universe being the world's biggest problem in the universe. It would fit them because I don't think they would be the biggest problem. They're just a minor inconvenience to a lot of people, it seems like. And how much joy do they put in the world with their comedy? Don't know about that either.
This is a bad.
Shockingly stupid fucking thing to say. I was
Yeah.
aware that this is probably the wrong
Seriously.
thing to do, both legally and morally. But then I decided, you know what? I don't actually give a fuck. Literally, word for word. You could not ask for a better admission of actual malice than that. That is
Yeah, but it would have
actual
been
malice that you just put on record. And now you now have to backtrack as being a joke in court if
Yep.
it goes to court.
Charity, first of all.
And this is what I
Yeah.
said. Why I probably shouldn't say this kind of stuff because it'll fuck up this guy's deal. But again,
It's already happened.
fuck it.
Perhaps screaming false flagger turns a lie into truth or something, or makes one feel justified in their questionable behavior. If you think that this was in response to those nonsensical allegations against me in early August, well, look at the timestamp.
Yeah. He was justified to think this. Even if they have some cope about it. It's probably better he didn't do anything too seriously, but he definitely has a right to be a little bit mad at the internet here with that bullshit there.
The claims that were in reference to the charity were made a full month before that. These claims could have been an attempt to get myself or the company in trouble with the state, and I didn't initiate that. What does false flagger even mean in this context? Here we see one of them saying, I am on a false flagging spree because this account that was suspended, but the suspended account doxed one of our warehouse addresses and a personal home address. Apparently that is false flagging. Could it be that someone is working over?
Oh shit. I also forgot. I should have asked LG. Should I actually buy Vito's SuperKiller? Or should I, pirate it? I'm sure there's going to be pirates out there. They seem fine with putting out Eric July shit. Pirate it. That's what the DMCs are about on Twitter. Them linking tweets that sort of give the link to the pirate sites for ISOM. So I'm wondering, is it ethical to do the same? Rules for thee, not for me, I guess. Maybe I'll buy the book and still say I pirate. Maybe I'll buy it, then just totally ignore that and pretend like I think that would be the ethical take. Oh, hopefully no one clips this and lets my sort of trick, or should I say, use LG's when SuperKiller comes out. Hashtag, parentheses, whatever.
Time to attempt to ruin my life and what I've built. I mean, this was said in that video.
I'm an asshole for fun. I like it. If I can say I'm doing it for kids,
No.
it's just a socially acceptable way for me to act like a psychopath.
Yeah, I can sympathize with Dick here. I don't like being an asshole to actually people. I wouldn't actually justify it as asshole for kids because that's just bullshit. I know maybe it would be for kids, and certain people might be kids. I'd rather be just assholes to assholes, sort of fit that sort of asshole sort of circle of assholeness. And let's hope Dick doesn't try to stick it in me for that. Good things about being insignificantly down and not being of credible status. But you never know what I'm going to do next. That is the unpredictability factor. Works against me and for me. These guys should work for them, but damn.
Yeah.
See, so there's a big opportunity for me to be cruel to people.
I think this is also, it's really important that
It's called motivation.
See, I would rather be cruel to people who deserve it. Dexter was a great show. Love that show. Don't have that sort of impulse, but everyone has that dark passenger. And you know what? I don't want to be cruel, but everyone has that side of them. And I would rather take that side off on people who actually deserve it, or at least make fun of them.
How expensive this is going to be? That's the golden question. So now the rules for the playing field have been set, and I'm the responding agency. Parties have shown that they have no problem either using the state against us themselves.
I really don't like the language. It's just too formal. It's too formal, Eric July. Okay, I understand what you're saying, but maybe I'm just a little bit more streaked than Eric, or I'm fine with doing it while he's been working on this YouTube, working on his sort of communication skill. Well, I've almost actually done the opposite, just embrace some of the sort of nonsense of the lower side of internet culture. Not as bad as Null of Josh Moon, but still, I have my little quirks that I like to get into.
Oil running op campaigns to maybe push someone else to do it for them. This impacts not only myself, but the dozens of other employees and contractors that work for our company. Now, we sniffed this out a long time ago, but if we did.
So, I mean, there's no other way to spin it. Dick is malicious. He's fucking with this guy. They're jealous about the success of his comic book, and they're actively trying to ruin. I believe that they sent those emails to try and instigate a lawsuit and also interfere with his ability.
Yeah, but they got accountable deniability. They have 2 layers. Okay, it's a fan who did it. When you sort of bring the fans into the culture, look at Riley, how off hinge he's going. Yeah, he's divorced himself from the Dick and Vito biggest problem family to sort of do their bidding. Shit, who knows what's going on in the background with all those crazy kids. Clearly, they don't have ethics. You can't trust them. It's all troll. They could be a big web conspiracy all out there. But, that in itself could be a conspiracy theory. The meta irony of that's a little bit funny to me.
To form contracts and fair business, and I think that he should go after him. I hope that he fucking wins.
Sorry, man. He didn't. Golden rule of the internet. You don't fuck with other content creators. It's just bad optics. So Eric made the right decision by not seriously go after him.
Crazy to me that he's so comfortable saying dumb shit like that on this podcast. And I realized that there's been, because I've never talked about him, I stopped watching his show, and people, I mean, the main thing is that enough people have stopped watching his show because it's fucking boring. And he talks about how much he hates women and fat people.
Yeah, I don't see the appeal of Dick. I have tried to watch a few times. He had a few names. I like the name, but overall, boring ass content. Just not for me. I'm not going to judge it, but it's quite interesting. And I like to engage with a little verbal sparring and see some blood sports. But Dick, it seems a little weaselly to me, Dick being a dick.
Over and over again, and then talks about this guy in the corner of his podcast. And that's all he does every episode, every time, the exact same shit over and over again. He's lost even like A-log followers who just report on the dumb shit that he says. And it's clear that with a total lack of accountability And just him and this fucking fat pedophile bouncing off each other endlessly over years has allowed him to feel so comfortable in like this little cesspit that he's dug out for himself. And now he feels comfortable saying whatever he wants. And he's completely okay fucking with this guy's business. He's completely okay trying to ruin him just because he doesn't like him. And it's really, I really hope that the accountability he desperately needs is going to come in the form of this fucking guy in his lawsuit. And I hope he wins. Like I said, I hope he gets slaughtered like a pig. I think that he will. And I feel remiss not making fun of the Juju the cow shit earlier, because it's really clear now with Vito that he is afraid of any sort of direct criticism. And he's just going to deflect everything to his fat retard pedophile friend that sits next to him. And here's the great thing. Here's the funniest fucking thing ever.
He might have misspoke.
It makes me so happy.
Dick to Vito.
I know how this is going to play out because we've already seen it play out with the greatest problem in the universe. When Maddox sued Dick, he didn't just sue Dick. He sued a couple people. One of them was Asterios Kokonos. Asterios was a comedian that he knew, he was friends with in LA. Asterios had made regular appearances on The Biggest Problem in the Universe. And when Dick did the Dick Show, Asterios went over to the Dick Show and he continued to do bits with Dick Masterson over there. When Maddox sued him, Asterios did not
Actually, let's
bits
go back.
with cow shit earlier, because it's really clear now with Vito that he is afraid of any sort of direct criticism. And he's just going to deflect everything to his fat retard pedophile friend that sits next to him. And here's the great thing. Here's the funniest fucking thing ever. It makes me so happy. I know how this is going to play out, because we've already seen it play out with the greatest problem in the universe. When Maddox sued Dick, he didn't just sue Dick. He sued a couple people. One of them was Asterios Kokonos. Asterios was a comedian that he knew, he was friends with in LA. Asterios had made regular appearances on The Biggest Problem in the Universe. And when Dick did the Dick Show, Asterios went over to the Dick Show and he continued to do bits with Dick Masterson over there. When Maddox sued him, Asterios did not make any money from the Dick Show. Dick Show was raking in $25,000 a month, if you can believe the Patreon. At least $25,000 a month, not including.
Sounds like a good plan. Wow. So he's taking all the risks. Maybe this comedian got some exposure. Maybe it's worth looking into. Not here, but I'm just saying maybe he got supported by other Dick fans. Dick can't actually, not be a dick, and, he has a reputation for being a complete asshole that he has to maintain. I can understand why publicly. Maybe he did some under the backroom dealing to help him, to save his image, his badass image. Then, keep that sort of a pagan stuff, Juju the cow, sort of under wraps.
Any other merchandise, it's just Patreon, $25,000 a month. And considering how much money Dick made over the lawsuit, how much attention he made over that, how big that was, and how formative that was to his podcast, Asterios really seemed to believe that Dick would pay for his defense. He would pay for Asterios to get defended, and that did not happen. He paid out of pocket, and he was fired from his company because his company was also sued. And since the company was being sued and they had to shell out for a very expensive lawyer, they decided that it was not worth keeping Asterios around. The value that Asterios added to their company versus what it was costing them to pay for this lawsuit was not worth it. And Asterios lost his job because of Maddox. And Dick did absolutely nothing to help him. He paid, I think, a little bit of money for like his bits and stuff, but it was not nearly enough to help him recover from the life ruination that Maddox tried to inflict on him, and quite frankly succeeded in. And now I know, sitting here watching this, that the day will come where Vito and Dick are independently named as co-conspirators in this torturous interference case or whatever the fuck that Eric July is going to bring against them. And when that happens, Dick will lawyer up, and Vito will lawyer up, and Vito will pay his own cost, and Dick will not pay a fucking cent. And Vito will be scorned, sitting there thinking, but I'm your pedophile henchman. I sit there and allow.
See, it didn't happen, man. Sorry. Eric didn't pull it. The optics of it's just really off. And, good on him. He just should ignore him. Don't even bother suing these shitty ass people with their shitty ass comedy. Okay. Have just know that you're doing well. I mean, it doesn't matter if Vito's jealous of Eric July or not. As long as you feel that way. Flaunt it, man. Shit. The best revenge is a well-lived life.
Again, called pedophiles, so that nobody brings up the fact that you get fucked in the ass while dressed as a cow by women. When you try to set up your failed threesomes, you get fucked in the ass as a cow, and I get called a pedophile for it. That's not fair. You should be paying for my attorney. And Dick will go, nope. You're not getting a penny. You're going to defend yourself. You're going to bankrupt yourself. You're going to live on the fucking street. And I'm going to find another fat, greasy, dime a dozen LA scumbag pedophile to take your place so I can keep doing my show and making my money, you dumb bitch. And I can't wait. I'm filled with so much spite and so much mirth in knowing that this is coming. I see it clear as day. And I just can't wait. to see bad things happen to bad people. Chat. So those are my long overdue thoughts on Dick.
And
His,
his dickory, hickory dickory dick. He's gonna he's gonna throw Vito in the trash at some point. Yeah, I know that didn't rhyme. I suck. You should be expected. Okay. And yeah, coming back to this beautiful thing. Yep. The wee point gets brought up here, and it's beautiful stuff. Not quite sure where to go from here. Let's start at 13. I already covered this once, but
I've never
Great,
seen white
it
women
was that
act like this in the
good.
wild.
it's always fun.
Yeah.
Bro, just AI trad wives.
Yeah.
Do you
Think
mean?
about it that way.
God, I don't want to say it outright.
I'm gonna pull it out of you. What the fuck are you talking about?
It's fine.
I don't want to be like,
Oh, okay.
what the fuck do you want from me?
I gotta bleep that now.
Yeah, no,
Compliment.
Well,
Yeah.
oh
No, they just
yeah,
look different.
As well.
D-Max left.
a little annoyed by Vito doing his whole thing on Twitter, or do you enjoy it when he starts?
He does. Have you ever considered painting Vito purple and calling him Grimace?
Grimace? No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Maybe we could get him to
This is actually one of the better jokes from Now Recorded. I should have gave him props last time,
do
but
that.
yeah.
You should get him to do that next month. For
Hey, you keep
Halloween.
trying to find wigs for Vito. I think you should just paint him different colors every week.
If he loses the weight loss contest,
Give him a rainbow treatment. Fly him as
I'll
a
let him
gay
extend
flag
it
parade.
if he dresses up like Grimace.
Remember,
you ever
jokes
get
are funny.
a little
Okay.
annoyed by Vito doing his whole thing on Twitter, or do you enjoy
Yeah.
it when he starts going off on people and freaking out?
When he jumps in defending shit that nobody asked him to defend. Oh, hey guys, here's my opinion on pedophilia and why, in some instances, you know, but they might not have evil thoughts. They're just misunderstood.
I'm not.
See, this is why I'm confused. Why they're just placing it all on Vito here. I mean, maybe Null or is an unreliable narrator. Maybe Dick never defended cuties along with Vito, or maybe just did it for a bit as a bit and then pushed it all on Vito. Convenient little scapegoat, or maybe even a truffle pig to get himself in messes that Dick can enjoy and join in occasionally and shift it all to Vito in the end. Good scapegoat, good truffle pig. There could be a couple of other names that I could think of that could be more applicable, but I don't know the exact details of their exact relationship.
I'm never putting my cat near that guy ever.
Yeah.
It's not gonna happen.
Can you ban Vito from saying the word "we"?
There it is.
he can't stop saying it. He'll even try to tell a story, and you pay attention. If you're like, well, then we. And I'm like, no, it's not. It's once again, it's I that you're looking for.
I wonder if this ever happens. Okay. I would like examples of this. Might have to go through this. Probably a waste of time.
When you fiddled with your cat with a Q-tip, you.
We had a great time.
He
Who,
can
you and the
definitely just
cat?
go on this small little thing.
Who knew that using
It is
the word
funny
you?
that he. Yeah, it is funny that he.
I wonder if this is all a trick.
Um,
I mean, I was
It makes sense in the
I
con,
was
yeah.
sort of
He,
having a bit last
do-
time.
whenever he goes on his like whatever pedophile protector crusades online, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. I get where you're coming from. But then he'll go,
get where
yeah, and
he's
then we got to
coming
lock
from.
up all the J6 guys for life. I'm like, yeah, that doesn't really like
Ah.
that doesn't really square with the whole pedophile thing that you're.
I mean,
Doesn't matter what you say.
oh, it actually does.
Oh, he's
square.
like-
You go to prison, you get the pagan, like Dick with Juju the Crowd. Cowl there. But, you know, fun stuff. Fun stuff. And, you know, I had a whole satire on this. Maybe I'll link it. Maybe I won't. Didn't want to rehash that completely. But, yeah, let me end with a little bit of the sort of Vito stuff here and there. Not really the Vito stuff, but the Twitter stuff that I might have missed and plug my own thing. Apparently, it's not a smart move to try to attack someone and compare myself as a market employee. I'll link that tweet just in case any artist or anyone wants to help me out with it. It can't hurt, you know. I'm not going to sort of link that to, you know, my criticism of SuperKiller when SuperKiller comes out, of course. But who knows when that's going to be. Q2. I sort of have a disposition against pre-ordering anything. Sorry, it's a deep a disposition that I sort of picked up from a while ago. Ooh, no, not me. Not rules for me, not for thee. But yeah, let's get back into this before I close this all on out. I don't think I need, and why am I pulling from there? Okay, share the screen, folks. Go back to the Twitter to see. Simply, let's just take a look. Let's just look up SuperKiller. See what fun stuff, what the buzz is about online. You got first sketch of SuperKiller. Compare, it's probably better than what I did. Pretty good for an amateur artist. Here, LG son. SuperKiller. One of the problems of trying to write a comedy in the age of complete intellectual decline is that you can name your comic book characters as stupid as SuperKiller, and people still fail to grasp it as an obvious joke. I don't think it's just going over their head. Everything just goes over everyone's head. You can't just criticize someone for having a super name. Okay, a news agent, aka, or who gave him the very stupid code name. Unfortunately, much of the agent's history, in fact, we have been unable to identify exactly who recruited him into our agency or who gave him that very stupid code name. However, we are content to ignore these discrepancies as long as he continues, blah, blah, blah. Interesting little bisque. I have a question. Did a fifth grader title that book SuperKiller? That's an insult to fifth graders. They're more creative than that. Oh, interesting. Beautiful. Okay, we got our good man renowned with that sort of stuff up on the table. So yeah, you got the money. You want to throw a little bit of a support my way for my sort of really starving artist project to get my story, which you can read it. Okay, let me know what you think. Reason it's not the greatest story. It did win, a little award, but it's also not. It's not a superhero thing. It's more in the veins of Harry Dresden, urban fantasy with a twist. I'll end this out with the reading of that, at least the blurb. I believe it should be on that copy. Yes, desperate. Okay, people with issues. Well, a lot of shit under SuperKiller, more than him. Oh, here's a good one. Catholics in comics. Hail Vito, hail Comicsgate. Yes, such a sane individual. SuperKiller, you still have oh, here's the autistic girl who Riley pulled away. Yeah, beautiful. Especially after hearing that story. That is really a little bit morally dicey. I want my free digital copy of SuperKiller to review when it comes out. Will it be called SuperKiller or will the name change? Well, maybe it's trademarked. Who the hell knows? But yeah, SuperKiller is a superkiller. Super freak, super freaky. Need to move. Okay. A lot of shitting on when it comes out. People think SuperKiller is weird, has never read a comic book. Yeah, no clue. Lots of talk, nothing really good here. Well, okay, nothing really out there that's significant that I can see. Maybe I'm wrong. Let's switch up the name of the game. Latest SuperKiller. Very sweet. Okay, my stuff. Ugh, someone's spamming it just because the name. Yeah, you just joined my search. Ban whatever sort of ad. People. Okay. Media. This is the top. You got the autistic boobs pushing it. Obviously, ethics is not the strong thing for anyone in those circles. I don't like to do the guilt by association, but it's tough to actually separate them when you just balls to the wall, sort of treating like morals and ethics have nothing to do with reality. And yeah, that's sort of took up a lot of that stuff. Revisit my stuff real quick. As I said, maybe he wants to get this character perfect. This is really is sad. Really hope that he's being honest here and he's not just using the death, because she is dead. I checked this. Couldn't find any connection. Again, probably something more personal. People don't really want to put it out there. This seems genuine. He isn't pushing it or using it as a joke. So I do hope he does get it out to sort of immortalize. And I will try to be absolutely fair when SuperKiller comes out. Still, this in my part, it might be fair, but I already mentioned that earlier. You know, that's my whole scheme. I mean, not re-hate on it or relitigate it. See the comments on this. Yay, ripping off excellent comic you dullards haven't read because you're too busy fighting over Spider-Man isn't supposed to be black. Guess that's the whole Miles Morales stuff. Really mixing the culture war that he's sort of fighting against with his comic. I think it's a bad idea, personally. See if any view quotes, any. Oh, just me. Okay, he should be happy. Not that I get any engagement. Yeah, definitely more engagement than me. So, but I don't really care about pimping myself out or pimping anyone in general. But for this very limited time, I will pimp out my idea. Relitigate the sort of mock pages I went to. Page 1, give it a little flair here with a sort of that. Yes, these are all assets that I work together, combine them to do this. And not superhero thing. If you're curious, I'll link this tweet and you can check this out. Got my base little summary here. Let me close out this stream. Most people, okay, let me do the title and my pin name, which is different than all my other names. Who knows about names? What's in a name after all? Dealbreakers. It's a series. There's 2 stories in this. I have a third one in the works. It's just not enough press to really do it, and busy with other stuff. Eventually I'll have a third story and it would be easier just to do as a comic if I ever get that ball rolling. Case 197 summary. Most people have the wrong idea about deals with the devil. They don't need souls. They need bodies to walk the earth. It's sort of a play off of the Faustian bargain. I thought it was creative, and I think it works out well with the magic system that I have within this world. Also a little inspired by some elements of the Yu Yu Hakuno show, so you will see some little small elements of both books. Guys, great artist borrow, good artist borrow, great artist steal. I'm just an average artist, so when it comes to writing, so I do neither. I adapt ideas of others and combine them in interesting ways. They need, okay, this might be a little cringe. They don't need souls. They need bodies to walk on the earth. They also need consent. Therefore, they have agents on earth who aim to gain that consent through contracts. Greed and fear are the tools of these deal makers. Did I mess that up? That's where we start this story. One smarter than she looks lawyer has a deal maker after her. He wants to offer her a deal that she can't refuse. But where there's a deal maker, there will be a deal breaker not too far behind. Okay. That's sort of the opening sort of paragraph and my pitch for this. And I didn't really need to include that on the screen, but at least this mode sort of goes. Again, deal breaker. Any artist or anyone want to help me get the clout to set up a GoFundMe. I haven't been sort of baiting enough and working enough on my own stuff. I probably haven't put the work in. Probably don't take the shit too seriously enough. Yeah, let me end on this. Wait. I don't even think you're gonna get the sound with this. Maybe I'll do a pitch with this on my channel. Might actually hurt it. Yeah, no sound there. So it doesn't really matter. The other one has a door sound. And this is just loop animation. Used other art assets to make this because I've tried to do art. I'm probably worse than Vito given his sort of super killer thing. And finally this. Well, it lasted long enough, and I hope this hasn't been a complete waste of time at the end. I'll link LG and probably a few of the tweets here and there. For now, I almost forgot how to end all my videos and streams. With that said, I'm done.